They thought they had you figured out. They sized you up, mistook your patience for weakness, and assumed your presence could be ignored. They saw what they wanted to see: a face too young, a spirit too unassuming, a force too quiet to be a threat. But now, now the illusion is shattering right before their eyes. They never realized who they were dealing with. They underestimated the fire burning inside you, the ancient wisdom coursing through your soul. They thought they could play you, walk over you, and silence you. But instead, they've awakened something far beyond their understanding. A chosen one doesn't just endure. A chosen one rises, transforms, and shakes the very ground beneath their feet. You were never meant to blend in. That youthful glow, it's not just a trait, it's a mark of the divine energy pulsing through you, a sign that you operate outside of their shallow rules. While they scramble to manipulate and control, you move with divine timing, walking a path that was carved long before they even knew your name. Let them watch, let them whisper, let them doubt. It won't change a thing. Because when the moment comes, when the truth can no longer be ignored, they won't just be wrong, they'll be speechless. This isn't just your time, it's your awakening, and nothing will ever be the same again. The trials you have endured were never signs of weakness. They were the chisels shaping you into something unshakable. Every time they dismissed you, believing their shallow judgments could define your worth, they unknowingly fueled the force rising within you. They built walls, thinking they could box you in, unaware that you were never meant to be confined. What they cannot comprehend is that you move in alignment with a force beyond the realm of their perception. The power within you isn't bound by what they measure. It surpasses their calculations, eluding their expectations. While they rely on fleeting trends and hollow validations, you stand firm, guided by something eternal. You're meant to be here. Hit subscribe now and step into your next level. Your journey starts today. They played their games in places meant for progress, mistaking manipulation for strategy, assuming you would remain unseen. They orchestrated plans, weaving deception into the fabric of daily routines, convinced that their experience would always outmatch your insight. Yet when the weight of reality pressed down and answers became scarce, it was your vision that cut through the haze. What they saw as silence was merely patience. What they dismissed as inexperience was wisdom beyond their understanding. And in the moment when all pretense fell away, when solutions mattered more than appearances, it became undeniable. What you carried was never ordinary. There is a brilliance within that refuses to be dimmed, a force that transcends the passage of years. It isn't mere luck or genetics that grants such a luminous presence. It's the fire of purpose, the vitality of an unshaken spirit. While the world bends under the weight of time, something in you remains untouched, moving beyond the ordinary cycles of decay. It isn't the surface that holds this power, but the energy flowing beneath, an endless renewal sparked by the depth of your connection to something greater. Every burden released, every doubt cast aside, allows this light to shine more freely. The harmony within keeps your essence in motion, neither stagnant nor aged, but ever expanding. This is not a fleeting illusion. It is evidence of something eternal at work. Those who witness it may try to explain it in simple terms, yet their understanding falls short. They see the surface, but they cannot grasp the force sustaining it. Time may shift around you, but it has no claim over the brilliance that fuels your existence. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Imagine a fortress built not with stone and mortar, but with something far stronger, something unseen, unbreakable, and divinely ordained. The world looks at it and sees nothing, assuming it can be bypassed, assuming it's weak because it doesn't stand tall in the way they expect. But when the storm comes, when the attacks rise, it does not crumble, it does not shake. It stands firm, not because of what is seen, but because of what is woven into its very foundation. That's you. They glance at you and think they've got you figured out. They see what they want to see, a face too young, a presence too unassuming, a force too quiet to be a threat. But what they don't realize is that your power doesn't come from external validation. It doesn't come from loud displays or desperate attempts to prove your worth. It comes from a source they cannot touch, a presence they cannot comprehend, a strength that was built long before they ever spoke your name. They try to manipulate, they try to control, they try to twist reality to fit their small-minded assumptions. But they are playing a losing game. Every scheme they set in motion, every whisper spoken in dark corners, every calculated move meant to undermine you, it all falls apart before it even reaches you. Why? Because what covers you is not ordinary protection. It is divine alignment. It is the unseen hand of something far greater than human deception. They mistake humility for weakness, not understanding that true strength doesn't need to announce itself. They mistake your quietness for ignorance, unaware that you hear conversations never spoken aloud. They assume you are easy to manipulate, blind to the fact that you see their moves before they even make them. You are 10 steps ahead, not because you seek vengeance, not because you need validation, but because the path you walk was carved out before they even knew you existed. They throw shadows at you, thinking they can dim your light, not realizing that darkness can never consume what was designed to shine. They push, they prod, they try to force an outcome they want to see, only to realize they were never in control in the first place. And when they look back, when they see how every attempt to hold you back only propelled you forward, when they realize that their schemes crumbled under their own weight, they won't just be surprised, they will be undone. You're meant to be here. Hit subscribe now and step into your next level. Your journey starts today, because you were never just another face in the crowd. You were never just passing through. You were always chosen. And those who once doubted you, they're about to witness exactly what that means. There's always someone who believes their deception will go unnoticed. Someone who weaves falsehoods in the shadows, expecting their schemes to unfold without consequence. They maneuver with confidence, assuming their whispers will spread unchecked, that their carefully constructed lies will entangle you without resistance. What they fail to realize is that clarity surrounds you like an unbreakable current, pulling hidden motives into the light before they can take root. Without confrontation, without retaliation, the illusion they built begins to fracture. Those who once absorbed their distortions now seek truth, drawn toward you not by persuasion, but by an unseen force, unraveling the deception before their very eyes. The downfall they anticipated for you becomes their own undoing, not through your intervention, but through the weight of their own dishonesty collapsing under its own false foundation. The path before you remains untouchable, undisturbed by their efforts, because no plot can outmaneuver what has already been set in motion for your elevation. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118:22. Picture a sculptor working tirelessly on a raw, unshaped block of marble. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing, just a hunk of rock, flawed, ordinary, unremarkable. But in the hands of the master, every strike of the chisel has a purpose. Every cut, every refinement is intentional. People walk by, unimpressed, doubting that anything meaningful could ever come from something so rough, so overlooked. But then one day, the dust settles, the work is complete, and what stands before them is a masterpiece, something so breathtaking that they're left speechless. That's you. They've been looking at you, sizing you up, making their little assumptions. They've seen only what their narrow vision allows, just the surface, just a fragment of the truth. They mistake patience for passivity, humility for weakness, quiet confidence for a lack of direction. But what they don't realize is that while they were busy judging, dismissing, and underestimating, something far greater has been at work behind the scenes. A transformation has been unfolding, and they had no idea. Every setback, every overlooked effort, every moment you stayed faithful when no one was watching, it was all preparation. The foundation has been set, the structure reinforced, and now the time has come for the unveiling. But here's the thing, this shift, this breakthrough, won't be slow, won't be subtle, won't be something they can ignore. It will be like a dam breaking, like a flood of acceleration, so undeniable that even those who doubted you the most will have no choice but to stand in stunned silence. They assumed your path was stagnant, that you were falling behind, that their voices held weight. But their miscalculations are about to be exposed. They never understood that divine timing doesn't operate on human schedules. While they scrambled for quick success, chasing validation and shallow victories, you were being positioned for something far beyond their reach. And now, that moment is here. The very ones who rejected you, the ones who talked behind your back, the ones who counted you out before the race even began, they're about to watch as you rise beyond what they ever imagined. And when they finally realize that the power behind your elevation wasn't luck, wasn't coincidence, but something divinely orchestrated, they won't just be wrong. They'll be shaken, because what they dismissed was always destined to be the cornerstone. And now, it's your time to take your place. What they overlooked, what they dismissed as unimportant, is now rising beyond anything they could have imagined. Every unseen effort, every quiet sacrifice was never in vain. It was a foundation being laid for something far greater than human perception could grasp. The momentum that has been building in silence is now unstoppable, breaking through limitations that once seemed immovable. The elevation ahead is not dictated by opinions or assumptions. It is governed by a higher plan, one that has been unfolding all along. Time and time again you gave without expecting recognition, choosing generosity over self-interest even when no one acknowledged it. They mistook kindness for weakness, assuming their disregard would leave you empty-handed. What they failed to understand is that every act of selflessness carried weight beyond their comprehension. Every unseen gesture of goodwill, every moment of quiet perseverance has been accounted for, and now the return is set in motion. The transformation ahead is not gradual. It is an undeniable shift, a force of acceleration that no opposition can hinder. What once seemed hidden in the background is now being brought to the forefront, and those who once dismissed you will have no choice but to witness the outcome. What is coming is not merely recognition, it is the undeniable fulfillment of what was always meant to be. Don't just watch, be part of the journey. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. The best is yet to come. Do not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Galatians 6:9. Imagine a farmer waking before dawn, day after day, planting seeds into the soil. The world walks by, seeing nothing but dirt, shaking their heads, thinking his labor is pointless. They don't see the long hours, the faith in every planted seed, the patience in every waiting season. But what they don't understand is that harvest isn't immediate, it's inevitable. And when the season shifts, when the first sprout breaks through, when the fields turn golden with abundance, suddenly everyone takes notice. That's what's happening to you. Every act of kindness, every moment of sacrifice that went unseen, every time you gave without expecting anything in return, it was never forgotten. The world may have dismissed it, may have assumed that your goodness left you empty-handed, that your patience was weakness, that your heart would go unnoticed. But God saw everything. And now, the season of return is here. They thought your compassion made you soft. They thought your humility kept you small. They thought your quiet strength meant you would never rise. But they didn't realize that what looked like stillness was actually preparation. Every unseen effort, every quiet sacrifice, every tear cried in faith was watering the very foundation of your breakthrough. And now, the shift has begun. You're stepping into a moment where all that was hidden is being revealed. Those who underestimated you, who overlooked you, who thought they could dismiss you with a wave of their hand, are about to witness something undeniable. The same traits they saw as weaknesses, your kindness, your endurance, your faith, are the very qualities that are now lifting you higher than they ever imagined. But here's the part they never saw coming. This isn't just a rise. This isn't just a promotion. This isn't just a moment of recognition. This is a divine unveiling. What once seemed buried is now flourishing. What they thought was wasted is multiplying. The seeds you planted in faith, the love you poured out without hesitation, the battles you fought in silence, it's all coming back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And those who once questioned you, they will have no choice but to stand in awe. Not because you sought their validation, not because you needed their approval, but because when God lifts someone up, no one can pull them back down. They thought they had the final word on your life. They were wrong. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were always chosen. And now the world is about to see what happens when the faithful reap what they have sown. For too long, voices around you tried to dictate your worth, measuring your potential by shallow standards. They assumed wisdom was bound by years. That experience was a matter of appearance rather than insight. What they failed to grasp is that your path was never shaped by their assumptions. An unseen hand has been orchestrating every step, weaving purpose into every turn, ensuring that your journey aligns with something far greater than human perception can comprehend. What lies ahead is not uncertainty. It is clarity, a path carved out with precision, guided by a wisdom that does not bend to shifting opinions. The noise around you holds no weight, because your direction is not determined by the fleeting words of others, but by something unshakable. The road before you is set, unstoppable, leading only toward expansion, fulfillment, and a purpose too vast to be contained by the limits they once placed upon you. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. Imagine standing at the edge of a great river, its currents rushing strong and unpredictable. The world tells you that without a bridge, without a map, without someone else to lead the way, you'll be swept away. They assume you're lost because they don't see the path beneath your feet. But what they don't know is that you've been given something far greater than a bridge or a map. You've been given divine direction. While they rely on what they can see, you walk by what has already been spoken over you. Right now, you're standing in a defining moment, a crossroads, a place where the weight of the future seems to press on every decision. And around you, voices. Everyone has an opinion. Some whisper doubts, some disguise their disbelief as advice. They look at you and see hesitation, assuming you lack the wisdom to step forward. They mistake patience for indecision, youth for inexperience, uncertainty for weakness. But what they don't understand is that there is a different kind of knowing within you, one not born from human reasoning, but from something eternal. That certainty isn't coming from the noise around you. It's coming from the one who has been guiding your every step. You are not just standing at a crossroads, you are standing in divine alignment. The decisions before you may look overwhelming to others, but to you, they are opportunities, doors waiting to be opened. While they focus on the obstacles, you see the possibilities. While they question whether you are ready, you already know the answer. This is not a time for fear. It is not a time for second guessing. The moment you take that first step, you will see that the road was never uncertain. It was just waiting for you to walk it. Paths that once seemed blocked will clear. Doors that appeared shut will swing wide open. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you were made for this. And here's the part they will never understand. This moment was never about proving yourself to them. It was about stepping into the purpose that has always been yours. The people who doubted, who questioned, who thought you needed their approval. Their voices will fade into the background as the reality of your journey unfolds before them. They thought you were lost. They thought you were hesitating. They thought you were unsure. They were wrong. You are not waiting for permission. You are not seeking validation. You are not hoping for a sign. You are moving forward. And nothing, no doubt, no fear, no outside voice can stop you now. Seeking clarity, you turn inward, aligning yourself with the guidance that has never failed you. In that moment of surrender, the answer unfolds, not as something forced or fabricated, but as an opportunity so perfectly woven into your purpose that its presence is undeniable. Without fear, without hesitation, you step forward. And as you do, the impossible begins to shift. Doors that once seemed locked are now opening with ease. Pathways that were obscured are suddenly illuminated. Those who once questioned your ability to move with confidence are left in stunned silence, watching as each step propels you forward with a momentum they cannot explain. They assumed obstacles would stop you, that your decisions would waver, but they never realized the unseen hand orchestrating every move. What is happening is beyond their understanding, for this path was never theirs to define. It was always meant for you, and now nothing can stand in its way. Don't just watch, be part of the journey. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. The best is yet to come. The way forward has already been prepared, even when it appears impossible to those around you. What once seemed unreachable is now within grasp, and the very doors that were shut are opening with precision. No obstacle, no delay, no opposition can hinder the movement that has been set in motion on your behalf. The wisdom within you is not bound by external noise or fleeting opinions. It is deeply rooted in something unshakable, guiding you beyond fear, beyond limitation, beyond doubt. They've questioned your pace, doubted your patience, and assumed stagnation where there was only refinement. But what they fail to understand is that every season of waiting carried purpose. Every moment that seemed slow in their eyes was in reality an intentional process, an alignment with something beyond human timelines. You have never been behind. You have never been overlooked. Each step has been measured, every delay calculated, not as an obstacle, but as preparation for what is about to unfold. While others rushed ahead, chasing after fleeting recognition and temporary validation, you remained steadfast, allowing yourself to be sharpened, strengthened, and positioned for something beyond what they could perceive. What seemed like stillness was, in truth, a foundation being solidified. And now, as everything begins to shift, it will be evident. What appeared to be delay was, in fact, a setup for something far greater than they ever imagined. The waiting was never wasted. It was preparation. While others rushed ahead, measuring success by fleeting milestones, you remained steadfast, trusting in something greater than immediate gratification. You watched as doors swung open for those around you, their achievements stacking up, their progress seemingly uninterrupted. They assumed you were falling behind, their glances filled with quiet judgment, mistaking your patience for stagnation. But what they never understood, what they could never perceive, was that your path was never meant to mirror theirs. It was unfolding according to a design far beyond their comprehension. Then, in a moment no one anticipated, the breakthrough arrived. The door that had been hidden from view suddenly stood wide open, revealing an opportunity so perfectly aligned with your purpose that it became clear. Every delay was intentional, every pause a necessary step towards something greater. It wasn't just another opportunity. It was an appointed moment, an undeniable confirmation that the waiting had been worth it. The same voices that once doubted now fall silent, watching as everything aligns for you in ways they never thought possible. While they strained and scrambled to force their way forward, the very things they chased have been placed directly in your hands, delivered in perfect timing, with a magnitude they could never achieve through their own striving. This is the undeniable proof that nothing was ever being withheld from you. What seemed like a delay was, in truth, a divine setup for something beyond what even you had imagined. Everything was always leading to this moment. The moment they anticipated, the one they assumed would expose your weaknesses, has arrived. A defining challenge stands in your path, whether it's an overwhelming task, a pivotal decision, or a situation designed to test your limits. They watch closely, expecting hesitation, expecting struggle, convinced that this will be the moment you finally break. Their doubts are loud, their expectations of failure clear. But what they fail to realize is that the pressure meant to shatter you only refines your strength. You step forward, not with fear, not with uncertainty, but with an unshakable resolve. There is something within you that they cannot measure, something far beyond what they understand. While they anticipate your downfall, you rise. The challenge is met with unwavering confidence, your steps guided by an unseen force they cannot comprehend. As the dust settles, the outcome is undeniable. Not only have you overcome the trial, but you have done so with a grace and composure that leaves them stunned. The same people who whispered doubts now struggle for words, unable to reconcile their expectations with the reality before them. They thought this would be your breaking point, but instead, it became a moment of undeniable victory. The strength they overlooked has now taken center stage, making it impossible for them to deny what they once dismissed. What they never foresaw was that the very adversity they assumed would hold you back was, in truth, the fire that forged your resilience. They may have doubted, underestimated, even ridiculed, but now they stand as witnesses to something far greater than they imagined. The power they failed to recognize was never based on external appearances. It was cultivated through endurance, shaped through unseen battles, and strengthened by an unbreakable connection to something beyond human comprehension. The blessings and opportunities unfolding before you are not random. They are the direct result of unwavering faith, of choosing perseverance when surrender seemed easier. Every setback, every moment of dismissal, every challenge was a stepping stone, leading to this very moment. And now, as you rise, your story serves as proof that true strength is never dictated by perception. It is built through faith, sharpened through struggle, and revealed in undeniable triumph. Don't just watch, be part of the journey. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. The best is yet to come. Let your journey be seen. Let it be a testament to what happens when preparation meets destiny.